Hey there, and welcome to another episode from Dream Anchor Photography. I'm Nathan Payne, and today I'm doing a little video reviewing a special piece of equipment that my wife and I invested in here a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So we are wedding photographers. Well, we are photographers in general, but we've recently expanded to doing weddings and also doing videography. And as we learn more about our business, one of the things that we've discovered is that doing videography in a harsh sunlight, bright day environment has a lot of trade-offs. So getting those shutter speeds down is really important, but also trying to work with your depth of field. Right now I've got my settings at 1/60th of a second, and I should be getting some pretty decent motion here with my hand. Now, if I did not have a neutral density filter on my camera, I would have to either dial up my f-stop to say f8 or f11 in even this environment, which as you can tell is pretty overcast, or I would have to dial up my shutter speed, or I suppose dial it down, make it a faster shutter speed, so 1/1000th of a second or something to that effect. And when you do that, it makes your motion much more herky-jerky. I'll try and show you here in a little bit. Again, my wife and I just made this investment here not too long ago, and we decided to purchase a neutral density filter, specifically the 3-stop, from Breakthrough Photography. And Breakthrough has some really awesome claims on their website, and through the bit of research that we did, we found them to be one of the top-notch businesses that we wanted to invest in. It was a little bit of a toss-up, but one thing in particular ended up taking us over the top. So Breakthrough Photography offers magnetic filters. So in a scenario where we're trying to do videography, we may be indoors, we may be outdoors, but that need to be able to transition fairly quickly brought me to the idea of the magnetic filter. I figured that being able to snap a filter on and pull it back off would be much more pleasant and convenient than having to screw on a filter all the time. So we made this investment. We specifically got, again, the 3-stop neutral density filter, a step-up ring because they didn't have the right sizes for us in stock, and we have a wedding coming up that we wanted to make sure that we were ready for. So we decided to go with, again, a step-up ring, and then the neutral density filter, the 3-stop, but we also invested in their magnetic filter wheel. So this is the mounting that goes on the front of your camera and will allow the magnetic filter to snap on your camera and pull back off. Now, I'll admit that I made a little bit of a mistake in reading their website, and ultimately what ended up happening is the product that we invested in showed up on our doorstep, and we opened everything up and it didn't operate the way that we thought it would, which was, to say the least, a little bit frustrating. So what we'd done is we had actually ended up ordering a threaded filter and then that magnetic wheel that you can put your magnetic filters on, but the threaded filter was not a magnetic filter. This wasn't very clear cut when we looked through the website. There was one small section that had indicated that they were introducing their new magnetic filters, but it wasn't super clear to us. There was even one section that indicated that the magnetic filters were available in a variety of filters. So we made this investment. Product shows up, it's not quite what we want. We're definitely a little bit disappointed. We're not exactly sure what we're gonna do next, and we're feeling like we maybe made the wrong decision. So here's the important part of the story. What I decided to do was to reach out to Breakthrough, and kindly enough, when they sent us the product, right on the case, it had a sticker on it that said that we could contact the founder of Breakthrough directly. We thought this was a pretty nice touch, and so I decided to write him a fairly lengthy email explaining my situation and my thoughts. Wasn't sure what would necessarily come of it. I did have kind of an interesting request for him. And then I also said, basically, if that request, that kind of interesting idea didn't pan out for him, that I would just ask that we maybe do some sort of refund. We basically return the products, whatever the case may be. To make a long story short, Graham reached out to us directly, called us while we were traveling over towards a job in Port Henry, New York. He basically wanted to follow through on my interesting idea, and so he presented us with the magnetic filters that we thought we'd originally invested in. He told us to, try them out, see what it was that we actually thought about this product, we thought we'd invested in the get-go, and if things didn't pan out, I could basically return everything back to him. And I really kind of appreciated it. I appreciated that fine touch where he reached out to us directly in response to our communication with him. So where I'm basically going with this is Breakthrough, even though I felt like they'd maybe made a little mistake, and I knew I'd definitely made a little mistake, they were willing to help us out and make sure that we were prepared for this wedding that we have coming up in third week of August. So Breakthrough, thank you. Thank you very much. That was an awesome move on your part, and I think it's totally cool that you give out your founders' information when your customers purchase your products. So I just want to say that my wife and I really appreciate that, and we really appreciate the step above where you sent us your products and gave us the opportunity to try them out. I think that's pretty cool. So here's what I have. I have what they sent us. I haven't even opened it. It was supposed to come in on Monday, today's currently Sunday, and it showed up yesterday. And although I really wanted to satisfy that instant gratification that I definitely wanted to do, I opted to hold off, and I was going to basically do a little unboxing. So let me take a minute to get this guy open, and then I'm going to show you what Breakthrough sent us and discuss kind of my first impressions here a little bit, and we'll go from there. Hold on one moment. Okay, so just opening up the shipping package, and what Breakthrough decided to send to us mimicked what my wife and I had already ordered. So I do have the 3-stop X4 Dark Circular Polarizer, the X4 Circular Polarizer Magnetic, and they also sent us the magnetic 3-stop filter as well. Now, I can already tell you that Breakthrough Photography's packaging is top-notch, and I absolutely love what they send everything in. They are also kind enough to send me return labels, so should my wife and I decide not to take advantage of their products for any reason, we're going to send everything back free of charge. And I am prepared to open these things up and basically start operating them there on the camera. I'll tell you that right now I do have the 3-stop filter set up, but it's the threaded. And so I'm going to dismount that guy and get the magnetic filter on here in a moment. I also thought I'd take a quick moment to just show you. So this is the magnetic wheel that my wife and I had originally purchased. And this guy's pretty cool because once you've got it threaded on, you're then able to turn your circular polarizer with this guy right here, but magnetic receiver. So once I've got the magnetic filter out, I can slide that guy right in there, be ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the 3-stop threaded filter and move forward. So, pretty big difference right there. Give me just a moment and I'll get everything changed out and put on the magnetic, okay? Alright, so I do have the magnetic 3-stop filter and the magnetic wheel. I've already got the step ring up here on my lens because, again, at the time of ordering, my wife and I did not see that they had the right sizes, and we were willing to accept that little trade-off to get the product that we felt we needed for our business. So right now, again, I've got no filters on the lens. Things are blowing out here in the sky just a little bit. It's honestly darkening up here at the end of the day, so the 3-stop might be a little bit too much. If I feel that I've dialed it down, I may bring up the ISO a little bit to offset. But let's go ahead and give this a try. I'm going to put on the magnetic filter wheel, and then I will snap on the 3-stop magnetic filter itself. Alright, as you can tell, that took a little bit of work. I now have the magnetic wheel housed onto the front of my lens, and this guy just snaps right in. Just like that. And I do. I feel like my scene is a little bit too dark, So I'm gonna make the first change in my settings that I've made through this whole video, and that's, I'm just gonna bump up the ISO. Perfect. So I just came up one stop with that guy just to bring up my shadows a little bit, and I love this product already. This thing snaps right in, snaps right out, and so as my wife and I are transitioning indoors and out of doors, so right now we'd be outdoors, I'd go indoors, and I've already got 3 stops of transition, which is just kind of awesome. So put this on here one last time, and I'm gonna do the rest of the video with a 3-stop filter on there, and we'll be good to go. One of the aspects of my and my wife's business is that we do work with off-camera flash. Now, we currently just have the TT685S from Godox, and this is just one of your regular speed lights, operates off of 4 AA batteries. This has been critical for the success of my photography because I love that off-camera flash characteristic. I'm able to dial up the light where I need it to, and it also helps me contend with less than ideal scenarios as we go outdoors and shoot portraiture for seniors and weddings and whatever it may be. However, as I will show you here in a photo or 2 or 3, because, well, I'm really proud of these guys, the speed lights are not super strong and have a hard time overpowering the sun. Now, my wife and I recently went out on 2 photo shoots. We did a senior portrait session over in Port Henry, New York, and we did it at 4:30 on a really, really sunny day. And the speed lights, as well as the 3-stop filter, really helped us get these photo shoots to be the quality that we wanted them to. And then later on, we did an engagement photo shoot here just the other day up at the waterfront in Burlington. And that photo shoot, we did the majority of the shots shooting directly into the sun at about 6:30. Now out on the waterfront, it was again another really sunny day. We were dealing with these very, very strong backlit images. What my wife and I actually did is we took 2 speed lights, we strapped them together, and we were shooting handheld through an umbrella. My wife was basically my light stand, I was the photographer, and we had 2 beautiful subjects where Joe was proposing to Maria, and we covered that, and then we also did some more standard formal portraiture. So basically, the 3-stop filter allowed me to bring my f-stop down and also keep my shutter speeds at a reasonable level so that the high-speed sync on this guy wasn't having to overwork itself too hard, even with 2 flashes operating. So really, Breakthrough Photography and their 3-stop filter helped me get these photo sessions to be exactly what I wanted them to be. Without the 3-stop filter, or without these flashes, I would have been in quite the pickle. I would have been having to deal with bringing that sun down or letting it blow out completely, or dealing with a really high f-stop so that I would have no loss of depth of field. I would be capturing everything in focus and my subject wouldn't be able to stand out from its environment. And I really enjoy, like most photographers, those lower f-stops. I love the off-camera flash. I love being able to dial down the sun and just get all that light to play with each other so that all the elements come together. So again, I'll show you a few pictures here, guys, because I think this will really be a testament to what off-camera flash, 3-stop filter can do for you. And honestly, I am going to get to the point where I'm going to tell you guys that I'm recommending Breakthrough Photography because this product seems like it's pretty cool, very efficient and convenient to be able to just pop that thing on and off, and then it's very quick. You know, that's kind of important to me. They make a lot of claims about color cast and clarity. They sound like they've got a really great product. I still have yet to test that in a little bit more detail, but from what I can get first impressions, seems like this is top notch. One of the things that I did want to do to further prove, I guess, how important the 3-stop filter is, especially if you're operating off from just a speed light, is the change in high-speed sync. And I think what I'll do is I'll actually take this video, bring it back to my house and do some in-studio shots, or even go outdoors. I don't really care. I don't really have a studio at this point. But basically do some tests, and I think if I can operate it properly, I'm going to slow the video down and fire off a variety of shots, keeping as many settings similar as is possible, and only change whether or not the filter is in place. Again, doing some high-speed footage so I can slow that down and basically show how strong the flash is having to work without the 3-stop filter, and then with it in place, how much less energy is coming out of the batteries, to basically demonstrate that this setup with a 3-stop filter and some off-camera flash speed lights can be a great setup. So again, I'm going to take this video back home, but for now I think I'm all set. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this location a little bit. It is one of my favorite places to be on earth. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will loop this video over to those home test shots and go from there. Or honestly, you know what I might do is I may just do a 2-part video. This one basically being all about saying thank you, Breakthrough Photography, for helping my wife and I out, having some great products for us, and helping us cover our wedding here in just a couple of weeks. Your customer service was top-notch, and I, at this point, am willing to recommend you to any photographer who is out there looking for filters of any variety. Whether you're just looking for the threaded variety or the magnetic variety, this company has taken care of my wife and I, and we really appreciate it. Peace out.